All right, folks. Sir Charles Carey, and welcome to the True Move podcast, True Music Podcast. That's what it's all about. Here is where we talk about all things music. And joining me today, once again, you missed him last week, but he's back. Carl T. Smith, aka the Smooth One. Carl, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Grateful, man. Look, it's cold. You know what? We're still alive and we still
kicking.
I ain't got nothing to complain.
Still kicking and alive, but cold. Yeah, you're right.
Look, if you can feel the cold, that means you're alive. Bottom line.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
But here, folks, we talk about all things music. You know, I've done a lot of music over the years. My partner in crime, Carl T. Smith, the Smooth One, has done tons of music over the years, and we talk about different things. So if you're watching this live or if you're watching it in the replay, feel free to shout us out, ask questions, ask us about maybe people we've performed with or people we know in the business or whatever your question may be. It's open game. You know, there's nothing hidden here, nothing but a lot of years of hard work, experience, milestones, failures, the whole gamut. So that's what we're talking about. And I believe the first week we talked about music styles and things like that. And last week we talked about groups and stuff. And this is no different. We're going to talk about different perspectives. We will have different guests. I know he's a little bit under the weather, but today's guest is supposed to be John R. Lewis. Hopefully he will join us. But if not, we shall keep the party going, keep it moving, because that's what we do. We got to keep it going because at the end of the day, you know, time waits for no one, right? But I can tell you this about John. He is a multifaceted musician. He's been playing for a number of years. He's a guitarist, he's a keyboardist. I know he likes jazz and gospel. And he and I met earlier last year, and we just started gigging all over the place. We did fundraisers, we did restaurants, we did lounges. You name it, we were doing it, and it was a great run. And we have a little bit more to do, I'm sure, because there's more left in the tank. So, Carl, I know you recently were doing something. Care to share with us a little bit about one of your most recent engagements? Because I know you've done a lot over the years, but most recently you had a gig with some notable performers and artists.
Yeah, I just did a gig with Leon. Leon, the actor, has a reggae band. And
hold on, Leon the actor. Who's Leon the actor? What has he done?
Leon has been in the Temptations as David Ruffin. He was in the Five Heartbeats. He was in he was Little Richard. He was a whole lot of characters. I mean, when I say characters, I mean characters. He was
That's all right. That's all right. So tell us a little bit more about the gig.
So yeah, we did the New York City Winery. Sold out the winery. It was a heck of a show. We had a very good time. It was fun, you know. He's a fun guy to be on stage with, man. You know, had a heck of a time. I'm trying to share this. How do I share this? So yeah, you know, we got there, got to the winery, had a good time. We got a moment to set up and do a sound check, and the sound check went well. The show went well. After the show went well, and it was all good. Okay, I just lost the screen.
Did you mention he's doing like Caribbean music? His original material? What is he doing? What kind of music?
He does I don't know which one to put first, pop reggae or reggae pop. Okay. You know, but he does a combination of pop reggae pop. He has the background singers, you know, is a variety of artists that do, you know, quite a few different things also. And the whole blend of and then you got a couple of other guys in the like Daryl. He's the he was the drummer for a couple of main groups and stuff. I think he played for what's the group? First Circle, Working Up a Sweat with T-Bone and those guys. And you know, a lot of these guys, they have a lot of projects that they work on, and we come together and do these shows. We actually scheduled to do a couple of shows shortly. We're going to be in Chicago, and then we're going to be in San Diego coming up soon.
Sounds like somebody is busy and getting ready to be busy and trying to stay busy.
Ain't that the part? Isn't that what you're trying to do?
You know, look, those are the types of problems I like having.
Well, I don't know. You know, that's that grass is green on the other side. You know,
look, win, lose, or draw. You know, it's about when it comes to music as an entrepreneur or whatever your endeavor is, but music specifically is what we're speaking about. You know, you got to stay visible. You obviously want to stay relevant. And you do want to stay busy, because I know that's where I'm at, man. I mean, rehearsal, but it's inspiring because it lets you know you're working towards something, you know? So, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So how did the audience receive the performance?
You know, they loved it. The audience loved it. They had quite a few celebrities in the audience. They had Melly Mel was up in there.
Nice.
You know, well, a lot of these events, you get people want to come and check out the event and stuff. And they had quite a few actors and other celebrities hanging out. But all in all, they had a good time. You know, everybody was mingling, singing along, you know, and following along and enjoying themselves.
So, where are these? Is his material original material? Is it covers or what?
He has a couple of covers. But they're mainly it's original material.
Right.
You know, well, they're covers, but they are covers that were released on his album. You know, so I mean, he's not doing like, it's not that, you know, he's not doing just cover songs. Wait a minute now. Yes, he is. He's got a few of those, you know, just cover songs that's not on his album. But the majority of them, when the covers are, they're on his album.
Okay, like different arrangements, remakes.
Yeah. He took "Lovely Day."
Oh yeah.
And gave it it has a little kind of a reggae twist to it, you know, because that's his main thing is kind of reggae. Most of the stuff is reggae, on, you know, reggae oriented and stuff like that.
No, talking about that, that's funny. In your opinion, because you've been doing this for quite some time, we don't necessarily have to talk about how long you've been doing it, but quite some time.
How week?
So you're a week old. Look, from your bit of experience, how important is it to have a niche, or can it work both ways, that you can perform different types of material and be known for a wide range? Or do you think, as a musician, vocalist or not, that you should niche into a particular category?
You should niche into a particular category these days.
Okay.
Variety, like I remember coming up, you know, the trick, well, it wasn't the trick, but you know, the focus was to have a variety of stuff so that you can please, you know, multiple audiences and do multiple things and stuff like that. But today, you know, I've learned that it is about niching down on a particular thing, so that, because once your audience, or once your fans or audience, or once the people that know you for something, then that's what they expect to get from you.
Right.
So, you know, if you're going to do heavy rock, and then you turn around and do, you know, R&B love ballads, I think you can do it, but it confuses the audience.
Right. So, you know, for the Smooth One, what is the niche for the Smooth One? What is the Smooth One does? I know the name sort of sounds like it gives it away, but does it? What is the niche for the Smooth One?
Well, that's the whole thing. You know, if you're going to niche down on something, you know, try to do it where everything that you do represents that, you know. So my thing is love songs.
Okay.
Fast, slow, you know, medium, you
Okay.
know, it's kind of love songs, you know. That's kind of my niche right there. I do all kind of stuff for other artists, different, you know, different focuses and things like that. But my main thing would be love songs.
All right, that represents your brand. I know that's right. Yeah, man. Hey, did we talk about last time that you had a particular artist that inspired you? Did you mention, I don't know if we had that conversation. Was there any particular artist growing up for you when you were younger, and before you really started writing and recording, who inspired you?
Well, that list could be long and short.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because I kind of like anything that's well put together.
Okay.
Definitely like that. But if I had to name a few, it would be
Right.
like Donny Hathaway.
Okay.
You know, those songs come to mind. The Jackson 5, you know, even now I get a kick out of playing I Want You Back, you know, which I thought I had it right playing back then, but now that I, you know, practiced enough and learned how to play, you know, I knew that I was playing that all wrong.
But it still sounded good, huh?
Well, in my head, but if anybody else listened to it, they would go, "Well, what was that song?" You know.
Right.
You know. Quite a few. Let's see, who else? Stevie Wonder, you know, of course, Stevie Wonder and all the classics, all the guys.
What about bands or
I was getting ready to say my next one was like, you know, stuff from Earth, Wind and Fire.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times when we're setting up and, you know, I do multiple keyboards. And when I check my horns, I play Getaway. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I play Getaway and, you know, stuff like that.
Joint right there.
You know, what you call it, the Commodores, you know, like some of the Commodore stuff, you know, Kool and the Gang, of course.
Right.
You know, it just I mean, each one of them have a particular area where when I listen to them or when I'm doing something, I gravitate to those.
Okay.
And a little more. It's quite a bit more.
Look, I knew we had things in common, but I didn't know how much, literally until this moment, because almost every group, band, I mean, I like groups too, but group or band and artists that you mentioned, they're on my playlist or they're right up my aisle. You know, I must admit though that I got on to Donny Hathaway late. I think it was in the 80s, mid 80s when I really got on to Donny Hathaway. In fact, it was probably not too long after his passing. It was a song called "You Were Meant for Me," and at first I didn't like it, and because I'm a like most of us, I'm a very peculiar artist. I didn't like it because I didn't know it and I couldn't sing it. You know, if I could sing a song and it's rhythmic to me, I probably would like it, but I didn't like it. But as I listened to the story, it was like, wow, this is a heavy song. And I began to like the song. But yeah, and it's funny, I just was watching Layla Hathaway on the Jennifer Hudson show the other day, and I was like, wow, it was a good interview. But
Right.
Yeah, you know, and folks, if you're just joining us, I'm Sir Charles Carey. We have Carl T. Smith, aka the Smooth One, and this is the True Music Podcast, and we talk about all things music. And for many of you, you know, I'm a speaker and an author, but on the other side of the mic, I'm also a musician, singer, songwriter, and I produce a lot of songs, and so has Mr. Carl T. Smith. So this podcast is pretty much focused on the music side of life in our lives. And if you don't know, we have an event coming up on March 21st of this year. And our guest who's not here, but it's okay because I know he's under the weather, is Mr. John R. Lewis, not to be confused with the former congressman, but he is one of the opening acts for this upcoming event on March 21st. It's just $10 at the MPK Cabaret, 5050 Beach Place, Temple Hills, Maryland, from 6 to 10. There will be refreshments. There are 5 outstanding acts, and we are just a few of those that are going to be there. John R. Lewis, Carl T. Smith, the Smooth One, and myself, yours truly, Sir Charles Carey. And this is going to be a phenomenal event. And I call it that because a lady told me not too long ago, it was about a year ago. She said, Charles, women are looking for that type of music. She says the songs that you do, whether it's covers or even your original material, women want to hear songs that are about something, songs that are saying something, songs that have a message. They want to be wooed and swooned. And that's what a lot of women, I guess, anyone that likes music, but I'm thinking that the 40 plus market, and maybe some 30-year-olds, but the 40 plus market, they are missing that type of music. What are your thoughts on that comment, Carl?
Well, I believe I've told many artists, because we do events and stuff, and you get some artists who figure like they're out of the range of following a career. And I tell them, I said, there's a market, an unserved market that is available that we're not taking advantage of, and that is the mature market. Now I don't know if it's the day and time where, back in the day when you used to go to perform, you would sing to the audience and sing to a particular person and sing, to the ladies, the guys, whatever the case may be.
Right.
What I've found is in these days, people are uncomfortable with that.
Really?
Sure. I found that I've performed, in front of some people, and I've sang 1 or 2 lines, and they kind of pull back. So there's something that I'm not used to, because if I'm performing or if I'm playing or whatever the case may be, I'm looking to play or sing or whatever to the audience. You know what I mean? So if I just didn't, sometimes it throws me off when even when I was watching Leon perform, there were a few ladies in the audience, as when he came by to sing to them, they kind of pulled back, and I was like, wow, all right. I thought it was just me, I was checking my breath mints and my cologne and all that other stuff like that, but it's not just me.
They were with dates.
Huh?
Did they have dates or appear to have dates?
No, not all of them don't.
Okay.
Not all of them don't. And that would be something that I would say, like, okay, well, I understand why there, but it's just like a comedy show. Don't sit in the front row if you don't want the comedian to hit you, to get you. If you're a little soft about that, then don't pick the front row.
Man, but, that's amazing.
Yeah, I that's something that I've kind of noticed, but maybe I don't know. It has to do with the day and the time, because I can think back to when I was trying to do stuff, and when you first start doing stuff, you're a little shy, so you don't interact with the audience and stuff. And because I didn't interact with the audience, I was kind of penalized. It was like, well, you don't sing to me and all this other stuff. Now they don't even say you don't sing to me. They say don't sing to me, I guess. But after the show, and this happened on a number of occasions, after the show, they came by and said, I like your songs, and your show was good, and that kind of things like that. So I started not worrying about it as much, and just kind of, it's hard for me to just sing to the ceiling, but just kind of sing to the room.
It's funny. That reminds me of, I'm always talking about, this is the music side, the other side of the mic. On the flip side, as a speaker, I remember I was in Vegas and I'm doing this keynote, And I mean, standing room only, sold out, right? And I'm like excited because I got all these people, and the people up front, is people on two sides, and the people up front, they're checking out and listening and everything, taking their notes. And this one particular, now there's a couple of people, one particular lady in the very front, she gave me this deadpan stare, like, I mean, no expression. I'm like, wow. So after I finished and I wrapped up, she comes up to the table and says, I'd like to get your book set. I was like, huh? Oh, okay.
Exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And she was like, what? You didn't think I got it? I said, I didn't know. Because I'm thinking there's no expression. Obviously, she was just downloading the information.
Right.
And I'm grateful for it, but it was just funny because, and one of my mentors told me, a lot of times what we do is we're trying to convince or convert this person who doesn't seem to be into it. And meanwhile, we're alienating the entire room or a bunch of the other room because we're either trying to get this person involved and engaged and smile, and we're leaving out half the other people on the other side of the room because of a couple of people that don't seem to get it. So that was a good lesson for me, just to, like you say, perform for the room,
For the room.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing, man. Well, look, something else we had in common.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I want to ask you, experiences like, well, there's two things. What was one of your most memorable performances, either as Carl T. Smith, the Smooth One, or maybe with someone else, whatever it was? What was one of your most memorable performances? Because I know you've had a lot.
There's so many memorable performances.
Yeah.
There's so many. Probably the first studio session that I did, I had went to seek out, get into this music business as a teenager. And we ran into a guy named Clarence Dallas, who had a record company called Clarence Music, and we got signed to his label. We got signed. Well, actually, yeah, we got signed. Well, we were signed to his management at the time.
Okay.
We were signed to his management, and we were producers. We were producing. We were producing tracks and doing arrangements and stuff like that. And we went, the first studio that we went to was Right Track, but that was Right Track before it was on 48th Street. It was on 24th Street off of Fifth Avenue. And that was the first time I stepped foot into a studio to do any kind of recording. And we were doing an arrangement for, I forgot who we was doing that arrangement for. I forgot, but we were doing an arrangement for a particular artist, and we were recording and controlling the session. Just not going there and playing and sitting on the side. We had to control the session, and we made that happen. And the first time that we, after we finished that, you couldn't tell us we weren't major producers, that kind of thing like that. And then from that point on, it just wasn't no stopping. We just kept going and kept doing the stuff and kept doing handling the work, and going on and on until we started, then we started hooking up with other artists like Bobby Harris. So we were backing up Bobby Harris, and then we went into the studio to record his stuff. And it just kept, it just kept going and going and going until, it just kept going until till you started hanging out in Brunswick. I was hanging out in Brunswick Records. We were doing.
Oh, let's talk about Brunswick Records. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We was doing all kind of. At the time, they had record pools, and we would be hanging in the record pools and just doing all these other other musical things that branched out from that, other than doing, the gigs at Savoy Manor and all that other stuff like that, which was what we were, which we thought at the time. I used to sit in with a group called IRT Express.
Okay.
And they used to do all the gigs at Savoy Manor and Parkside Plaza and
we just I've done that too. Wow, okay.
All that stuff like that, and so the leap from that to going into doing the larger things was was exciting. Definitely.
Hey, did you know Bobby Robinson from 125th Street had a record label? There was a record store between 125th and 126th Street on 8th Avenue, but he also had a record company, which was small, obviously. Did you know him?
No, name sounds familiar, but no, I didn't know him.
Okay. No, it's so funny because I was in Right Track Studios as well. I was there with, of course, this is back in the day, with Fred McFarlane, who used to play keyboards for D-Train. And he also played, oh man, what was the song with Leroy? Leroy had stepped away from Black Ivory at the time, and he was with a group called, not Intruders. I can't think of their name, but it was they had a nice hit out. And anyway, we were at Right Track the day that was it Purple Rain? No, When Doves Cry was debuting on MTV. Man, what an experience! It was Arthur Baker. You probably know Arthur Baker. Arthur Baker was working with Diana Ross, and Diana Ross was in the studio. And I was there with Fred and Jocelyn Brown, she was on the follow-up to somebody else's guy. And that was in Right Track Studios. Man, look, we were
on 48th Street.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Shoot, we was tiptoeing all around each other in the same circle.
Yeah.
That's all right. Man. Wow. So that was one of your most memorable experiences. What was one of your maybe negative or maybe even, I guess you could say, milestones? What was one of your another experience, maybe not musical, but based around the music industry? What was an experience or negative experience you had?
Negative experience.
Don't tell me too many to count.
Too many to count, but no. I can't, to be honest with you. I mean, there has been things that haven't gone right or perfect or whatever the case may be, but I can't think of any of the experience that I would consider to be negative, only because it would have been a lesson that I just won't repeat. So I can't think of, I mean, I probably think of a whole bunch of them after this after this thing, but I can't think of one that would be the only. Well, okay. This is why I say I can't think of a negative thing. So after my contract was up with Clarence Music, I was out on the road with New Edition.
Okay.
While I was out on the road with New Edition, Clarence went into the studio that we since I was using all the same studios, Clarence went into the studio and mixed. I was recording a song, and Clarence went into the studio and mixed my song, unfinished song, and put it out. Made vinyl records and all that other stuff like that, and put it out. Now, I mean, he wasn't supposed to do that, but he did. So I didn't know while I was on the road, I had this record that was being played all over the place. The name of the record is Come Back Lover.
Okay.
So when I got back, because I hadn't seen him, and then when I got back, he wasn't in the office that he was in anymore, and stuff like that. So I hadn't seen him in a while, but the record went on to do pretty good, and even today, I'm getting royalties from the record.
Nice.
So it's kind of like, well, yeah, that wasn't a cool thing to do, but
it kind of worked.
You know what I'm saying? And I guess I'm lucky that way, knock on wood, that things kind of fall that way. It's like I can't think of something super negative where I would be griping about it right now.
Right. Was it a slow song or up-tempo song? What type of
up-tempo song?
You ever think about maybe re-recording it?
I'm gonna stick it on the next album.
Oh, okay, nice.
I have that one, and I have another one that I did, which was "Baby Be Mine."
Oh yeah, that's nice
on my label. Yeah, I did on my label. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I did on my label. So I think maybe I'll stick it on there.
Okay.
See what happens.
Baby,
if I run out of songs.
Yeah, I don't know why are you afraid of It's My Turn?
No. Okay. Matter of fact, I mean, well, I've made, I've had I've had CDs out, I've had cassettes out and stuff, and It's My Turn has been on those those things, It's just
that's another favorite of mine, though. Baby Be Mine and It's My Turn. I like both of those, man. Those are really good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, I'm thinking if I don't put it on the next album, I may redo them anyway. Right. Or have somebody else do them or something. It's gonna be done.
So for the show for March 21st, are you doing all new material, or can we get a little idea of what to expect?
I haven't figured out exactly what I'm gonna do, but I'll probably do I have a song, Your Eyes.
Okay.
I'll probably do that. There's either Your Eyes or Stay.
Right.
I probably do Come Back Lover.
Okay.
Probably do Come Back Lover or maybe or Baby Be Mine.
Right.
I might do a cover, a cover or two. I don't know. We'll see what happens, Gotcha. And then maybe depends on how much time I have, and depends on whether or not it's a track or live.
Right.
Might do That You Don't Know or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you just did the gig with Leon. What's next? I know the March 21st, the True Lovers Tour right here in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital at the MPK Cabaret is going to be one of the things on your calendar. But are there any other things you're doing with Leon that you can talk about, or you have any other projects that you're working on, recordings or anything else that you can share?
Well, I'm going to perform February 15th here in Harlem. I'm in New York, so here in Harlem, there's an event that's happening on the 15th of February. Okay. And then I'm scheduled to go to not San Diego yet. I'm scheduled to go to Chicago.
Nice.
With Leon. Right. Go to Chicago with Leon on I think it's Sunday, March 2nd. And then I think it's San Diego sometime in the latter part of March. And then, I'm going to come out with my full concert at a Rafael Hernandez at an auditorium that I use here in the Bronx. Okay. That's going to be May 24th.
Nice.
May 24th. I got a couple of other events that I'm setting up and I'm promoting and doing some stuff. I'm hoping that I would be setting up an event in Delaware.
Okay.
So I can bounce from Maryland to Delaware and back and forth and stuff like that.
I mean, if you need somebody to carry your bags, let me know, man. I know a guy, Or you need somebody to open up for you, let me know. I know another guy.
But okay. Sounds good.
folks, you're listening to Sir Charles Carey and none other than the smooth one, Carl T. Smith. You hear about some of his experiences, some of the things that he's doing, and I highly recommend, if you're in the DMV, come check him out on March 21st. He and I will be at the MPK Cabaret at 5050 Beach Place. That's Temple Hills, Maryland. It's only going to cost you $1 to check it out. There will be refreshments, and we've got a great lineup. We're really excited about this one because it's the True Lovers Tour. We have Smoke D right here from the DMV. We've got Tawanda Prince, formerly from the Bronx, but currently here in the DMV. We've got John R. Lewis. We've got the Soul City Collector. That's my band. We've got Carl T. Smith, and none other than yours truly, Sir Charles Carey. I will be rolling out some of my new material, as well as some of the songs from my last CD, and maybe some other stuff too. So we have a full show ready for you, and we're excited about it. We're just going to do what we do because this is what we love. It's been something that I've been doing since, I don't know, I was a kid. And I imagine, Carl, the same for you. You've been doing this since you were a teen or a kid, right?
Yeah. Definitely been on this for a little while. 2 weeks, not a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, man. I remember the first time I told my mom, because she sang gospel with her siblings, and I was starting to learn at this point that my family was really involved in music, even though most of it was church oriented. I told my mom, I said, "Mom, I want to sing." She said, "Oh yeah?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Okay." And that was it. I was like, no speech, no do's and don'ts. Even though I was a little guy, I knew there was going to be some curriculum or some, advice I was supposed to receive. And then I just, from there, I just listened to everything I could. So we've been at this for a minute, folks, but I highly recommend that you check us out. We love what we do. Again, the True Moo Podcast, we talk about all things music, and we are promoting the upcoming show on March 21st with none other than Smoke D, Soul City Collective, John R. Lewis, Tawanda Prince, Carl T. Smith, aka the Smooth One, and yours truly, Sir Charles Carey. We will be promoting, we will be performing, and if you really like good old love songs that are from this era but are saying something, songs that have a message, a meaning, you want to check this show out. Again, March 21st at the MPK Cabaret. We are excited about it, and we want you in the house. We got some sponsors. Who do we got so far? We've got Brown's Market. We've got Mail Express. We got a few folks that are really supporting this event, this venture. So please come on out and be part of the energy, as I always say. That's really important, being a part of the energy. Hope we got some comments. Let's see what the comments are saying. Geraldine Jackson says, "I'm here in the house." Okay, my girl Sharon says, "Sounds like a birthday trip on May 24th. Okay. And then Nick Harris says, "I've got all of his albums on iTunes." Somebody got all your records, man.
All of my records? Really? Oh, thank you. What's her name?
It's a guy, I think. Maybe
what's his name?
Nick Harrison.
Nick. Oh, Nick. I know Nick.
Yeah. So I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you have any questions about anything from Carl, myself, any of the people that are on the roster for the upcoming show, please post your comments. We'd love to get back to you. Even if we can't get back to you in real time, we will get back to you because, again, this is what we do. This is who we are. And this is what we love. Music is the thing that, I don't know, it's always done something for me. And, I believe that we all love music from different perspectives. So, yeah, man. You had any closing comments, Carl?
Nah, basically. Oh yeah. I mean, everybody, when you get a chance, please stop by smooth1.com and sign my mailing list so that I can, send you great information and stuff. And you never know, we may be able to sing to you.
Yeah, that would be fantastic, right? Be part of the energy, folks. But with that being said, folks, until next week, I'm Sir Charles Carey. This is the True Mood Podcast, True Music Podcast, and we will see you next time. Remember, be part of the energy.